Alright, hello everybody. Now this is going to be a little bit of an odd start to our Surviving Mars runs. If this is new to you, what we've been doing has been sort of some more relaxing playthroughs where I don't raise my voice. We just enjoy how relaxing this game is. This is partly coming out of people saying that they like to fall asleep to some of my casts, and I find Surviving Mars a very relaxing game to play. Now, we had done some previous playthroughs, and unfortunately it turns out that the terraforming mechanics, you can play an old save, but the terraforming mechanics don't come through on that save. And on top of that, I actually ran into some problems with the colonies, in addition to some problems with my mic, which made the audio very harsh. And so the previous episode I had to sort of delete. I don't really have anything to fix that. If you want an idea of what the problems were, you can actually watch the Daggerfall episode 20 video, which has got some extremely harsh audio on it, and I think we'll all agree that it's very inconsistent with the spirit behind this one. But I know what I'm gonna do, so let's start a new game, and we'll see if this can fare a little bit better and if I can complete in good time. I don't know how consistently I'll be able to do these videos. I'd love to do one a week, but I'm trying to get a little bit of runway for all of these videos so that I'm consistent with them. So one of the things I've been wanting to do with Surviving Mars is to challenge myself a little bit, and I thought Brazil would be a really good choice. And there's a couple of reasons for that. I believe they start with one rocket. They have $9 billion in funding, so unlike the Blue Sun Corporation last time, we have only we have 1 billion less. Same starting applicants, a little bit more for rare metals. Now there's some neat things about it, which are the large supply pods, the rare metal refinery, turning waste rock into rare metals, and then once we get some colonists on the planet, we get some money. So I feel like it's something that will work very well with some of the ways that I play the game, especially with regards to passages and whatnot. But it's also going to present its own challenges just in terms of trying to get established. So we'll pick that. It's a tough call. I think Inventor might be where I want to go with it. I've been getting kind of lucky with finding water on my main sites. Yeah, I feel like an Inventor might be kind of an interesting one to start with. Politician would be really good because of the 20% bonus to funding, but yeah, I think let's try Inventor. We'll randomize the mystery now. I might wind up with some hard ones, which would be a little troublesome, but we'll live with that. Random rival colonies, these sometimes stress me out a little bit, but we'll work with that. And we'll say next. Now this payload. So drilling hub, moisture evaporator, fuel refinery, Stirling generator. And I start with a transport, a drone, some polymers, machine parts, and orbital probes. The real drawback here is the lack of an explorer. I'm not sure. So if I got rid of the Stirling generator, I wouldn't be able to put the... Okay. I need the moisture evaporator in case I'm not able to find a water source. Yeah, this looks like it's it. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna try a random colony site. Ooh, this is a little savory for my taste. Concrete's really important. And lots of dust storms, lots of cold waves. I don't think the combination of these two are something I can manage, so... I'm okay having some higher threats, but it would be nice to have, let's say, at least 3 bars of each type of resource. Nope. I should have gone back on that, sorry. Okay, this will be interesting. This is probably, overall, this is probably an easier start. There's an abundance of resources, but we do have dust storms, so I won't be able to rely on those moisture evaporators for the whole time. We'll give it a shot. We'll see how it goes.
Welcome to Mars.
Welcome to Mars, Commander. Mission Control Log 1. Welcome to Mars. Everyone at Mission Control is impatient to see the rocket touching down and unloading its precious cargo. Our remotely controlled eyes and hands on the red planet, the drones and the rovers. Our goal is to secure a foothold for humanity by building the first Martian dome. This daunting endeavor will allow the brave pioneers, the founders, to settle on Mars and prove that the colony is sustainable. But until then, we have to make sure that the colony has enough construction resources, water, oxygen, and power. And we know that we're Brazil and an inventor, so let's start by pausing. I'm always bad at pausing at the very start, so before we land... Okay, this is a perfectly fine start. We've got concrete, we've got water. It would be nice if I could find something that I could support the colony with, but this is a perfectly reasonable start. So I think I'm going to use my probes. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to look at the immediate area. Let's say... Okay. So the bad news is I don't seem to have any good source of metal. Nope. These look a little promising though, so let's take a look at our immediate surroundings. Okay, so let's go through the tooltips before we go any further. Terraforming introduction. To terraform Mars and create an Earth-like atmosphere for colonists, or environment for colonists, you have to gradually increase the 4 global terraforming parameters: atmosphere, temperature, water, and vegetation. Terraforming is a long process. Once complete, humans can start breathing outside domes. Start by researching a terraforming technology when ready. Further terraforming info is available in the encyclopedia. So we already achieved a couple of breakthroughs. Research breakthrough, find water on Mars. We've picked a sector to scan. Let's do our research. So research will unlock various benefits for the colony. Researching any technology will make a new technology in its field available for research. Changing your active research will preserve the progress of the previously researched technology. So I don't normally do fungal farms, but this might actually be a really good way for me to start. So let's do low-G fungi. I think my next priority will be to build low-G high-rises. So this one says all fungi are edible, some like fungi are only edible once. Next we'll say, I suggest that going to Mars means permanence on the planet, a mission by which we are building up a confidence level to become a 2-planet species. Buzz Aldrin. So next I would say, let's go for robotics first. So drones and movers move 20% faster, and engine design optimized for low gravity environments. But then we'll do social. Scientists and botanists have a plus 10 performance when working in their specialty. Hell yeah, I'm a botanist. Fear my botany powers. Andy Weir the Martian. And then I don't know, I did sort of avoid the cold waves. I don't know how those work yet, so we'll add some surface heating, but we probably won't need it. Ooh, you know what? I'm also going to risk it. I'm going to pay $1 billion right away so that we can get a head start on our technology. That might have been a bad idea, but we'll see. Okay, which is the better water deposit? We've got 9,001, 79, 95. So I think I'm going to prioritize this one right now because we don't know what comes out on the other end. So what might happen is there might be some tasty metals and whatnot. So the only problem right now is I don't know where to put my dome. Okay, so let's unpause and let's watch the ship land. So one of the things that made me start this series originally was I was not feeling very good about work. And what's kind of interesting now is that I basically finding this game quite relaxing. It sort of let me focus a little bit on just a game which is very positive. It's about a very exciting topic, kind of colonizing a new planet. And again, the music's very relaxing, the atmosphere is very relaxing. It's a really enjoyable game to play. And so I sort of decided, in addition to doing something that people had mentioned they would want to see, which is something that they could properly fall asleep to rather than me being a little goofy on stream sometimes, I thought that would be a really good way for me to sort of just unwind and otherwise not get too upset by whatever was happening at work. And so that's what I did. I made this series to try and overcome that. Now, all of the things that happened to me are they're actually laughably minor in some cases. An example of something that was good for me today was, and for the first time in a very long time, I actually bothered to cook for myself. And one of the reasons I mention that is that I have a friend who I don't know if they will be watching this, but I think their example and their mild encouragement sort of inspired me to do that. Also, partly budgetary reasons, but definitely I've been meaning to try and do that for a while. Anyways, I'd been meaning to do something like that for a bit, and being able to get that little minor win in, definitely I was happy about it. It sounds very foolish, but it's one that the reason I wanted to mention it is that obviously I started this series when I wasn't feeling 100%, and I thought that on the odd chance that my friend was watching, I might be able to explain, why I started it, why I hope it's helpful, and yeah, I don't know, just hopefully it turns out to be as useful as I found it. And then of course for some of you, I may not know you or your circumstances, but I do enjoy this very relaxing and optimistic game, and I hope that you find it similarly encouraging. It's got some interesting ideas about what my priorities are. Okay, well, it looks like I'm locked into a little bit of waste, but I think I can live with that. Alright, well, let's get this show on the road. But yeah, so one thing that I'm going to be focusing on for sort of two immediate concerns that I have. Number one, I would like to secure I'm sorry, I'm missing the word. Actually, I'm going to do something a little bolder. So I need to find some place to put my colony. I suppose I don't really have to have it do anything. I could just sort of have it sit and generate sort of research or something like that naturally, but I feel like we can't be that far away from some kind of an extraction. I suppose one thing I could try and do is already put a drone hub down, like something like this. This would allow me to capture that water, but again, we don't know what's waiting for us on the other side here. So I think one of the things that I'm going to do to try and help out my situation a little bit is I'm going to set up a sensor tower. I don't normally do this so early. Oh, you know what I can do? I can do one better. I can set up a sensor tower and a little solar panel. Yeah. So they generate 2. They need 2. This might be a bit of a waste of electronic. Yeah, you know what? This is a little too wasteful on electronics. So let's not get fancy. We'll put a normal little sensor tower down. And I think what I'll do is I'll put down a power accumulator. And then what I'll do is I'll add a bit of redundancy in terms of... Okay, low-G fungi. So moisture evaporator, hydroscopic evaporators, moisture evaporator upgrade, hydroscopic coating. Water production is increased by 50%. With its mechanical simplicity and applicability to any point on Mars's surface, the water vapor absorption reactor technology can extract water directly from the Martian atmosphere. And I feel like that one's a slightly higher priority than subsurface heating. So let's say the power accumulator and 2 solar panels are high priorities. And we should be able to speed things up a little bit. So the goal for the first little bit, oh, you know what I need to do? I also need to I need to make something for my fuel refinery. Okay, so let's think a little bit about that. Yeah, I want that fuel refinery as early as possible because it's going to be the way that I make fuel to get this rocket up. Okay, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to slightly divert the power cable. A little something like that. And we'll set up a... fuel refinery, and we'll put down a moisture evaporator. And I'm a little curious if I can fit another solar panel. Looks like I can. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to put a Stirling generator down just so everything can keep running. And now I think we're ready to speed things up. Oh, very nice. So we'll open this little guy up. Also going to make the sensor tower a high priority. And I'm also going to put fuel storage. We'll put that down.
Resources are low.
Alright, now this isn't very surprising because it generates 1 and it consumes 1. So the idea here is that we're going to make sure that the Crux 1 gets refueled as quickly as possible. It'll probably take 5 days. Ah yes, and I'm generating waste rock. So let's deal with that by making a dumping site. But of course, this is why Brazil is so interesting, because I can turn waste rock into something helpful. Alright, so a rare metals refinery costs 20 metal. Consumes 10 power, 1 raised rock. Okay. So I gotta be a little careful about the placement.
Sector
We'll put it
scan.
right beside our...
Anomaly found.
Something like that. Yep, that'll work. Let's try and avoid the dust. So we're a bit short on metal, it looks like. I'm a little curious why he's not collecting more, but we can fix that really quick. So it looks like there's 36 in the north. Oh, but these little guys seem to be okay. Alright, the low G high rise is done, so now we'll get the decommission protocol. Hopefully I don't need to decommission too many things, although again, subsurface heating is a lower priority than that. Okay. Let's get my transport collecting metal where I can't normally recover it. And we'll set up a collection route. So of course one of the priorities I have right now is trying to get this ship back home. I could of course try building a second one, but there's no point in doing that until I know where my colony is going to be. I'm not entirely convinced by any of these locations. Actually, you know what? I think buying a second ship would be a really good idea, because it'll also get me my explorer. So what are we waiting for? Okay, looks like we didn't have any luck with that site. Okay. It's looking a little grim, but not unsolvable. Training program, with the early phase of our mission showing relative stability and gaining in popularity back on Earth, our sponsor feels that we are in a good position to push forward a training program aimed at attracting the best applicants that Earth has to offer. Best of the best, as the program is being called, wants your input on what specialization field they should concentrate on in their recruitment efforts. So we will always need more scientists. 15 scientist applicants. Qualified geologists will be vital for any resource extraction early on. 15 geologist applicants. We need botanists to secure the food production of the colony. This is a tough one. So I do want scientists, but I'm not sure. No, you know what? Let's say scientists. Because if I really don't have any resources, I'll just lean into that. So I'll send my transport out to collect some metal. Okay, what building's not working? Alright, looks like my drones are going to be quite busy. But that's fine, that's what they're there for. I'm willing to bet I currently generate...
Research complete.
Alright, looks like we had some good news. So, drone hubs... Oh! This drone swarm.
No active research.
Okay, drone swarm is my highest priority. Better moisture evaporators are my second. Decommission protocol. Botanists. There we go. Okay, so now we're ready to consider... Ooh, that's going to be a hard one. Okay, so let's pretend I had to have it. Oh, I'm not going to be able to get a colony close enough. That's a shame. Though I suppose that would have been true even if I found metal over here. Okay, well, that's a little bit of bad luck. I'm not going to be able to extract any special resources, but that's also not a deal breaker. It just means that this colony is going to be focused. Oh, you know what? I can make it focused on food production. I can make it focused on a lot of very useful things. And more importantly, I also know that there's no resources that I need over here. So now I can put the drone hub in the most useful area for capturing all of these goodies. Of course, I forgot that I'm limited a little bit by my existing placement. I can't... Oh, drat. I want to just double check my... Oh yeah, let's take a look at my mission goals. So land a colonist on Mars by Sol 15, okay. Export 60 rare metals by the end of Sol 30. 4 domes with 4 spires, a dome connected to 3 other domes, and have a dome with more than 200 colonists. I should be able to do most, if not all of these. So I'm going to build 2 domes very early. And what I need to do is I need to secure a good source of metal for the next little bit. So let's think a little bit about where I want to put my drone hub. Oh right, I wanted to look at technology, so drone hubs no longer require power or maintenance. That means they can get as dusty as I want them to. So ideally I won't put them on the resource. But that, oh, that doesn't quite give me the coverage I need. Shucks. Okay, it's a little greedy to try and get that water in one go, so what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to make sure I have enough support for my existing infrastructure, and I have a fighting chance of setting up a chain. Okay, so what's going to happen is we're going to set up another dome down here when I can. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, we're already working on fuel. So the next thing that I'm going to focus on is trying to get a viable colony up. Now this might be a colony that eventually goes to these underground rare minerals. For now, as far as basic domes go, well, let's start by putting down our drone hub. There's really no advantages to going, you know, in any particular direction here. Right. Oh, shucks. There's a reason I picked Drone Swarm. I could have got 2 free drones off of that. Oh well. It's not the end of the world. Looks like I missed one of my little guys. There you go, you got a new home. Okay. So it looks like this transport's taking care of the metal. That's good because I'm going to be a little short on them. Now I am going to need some second rocket to bring in some polymers. We don't have a good source of that. I could, of course, build a polymer factory, but that requires prefab, or that requires workers, which we don't have. So I'm going to need to buy those. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to build a dome right at the edge of where I can go. And we're going to work with what we've got. Okay, so I have... the metal will be a little short, but I think we can work with it. Okay, let's think a little bit about what my situation is. So I've got a moisture evaporator already working. I'm gonna need 10 polymers plus the maintenance for this. I think I'm okay turning on the water extractor. In this case, we'll just connect everything to the one system. We'll put down a water tower. We'll make sure that's nice and close to the dome. We'll put down an oxygen tank and a moxie. Okay, so my power demands right now, we have a 27 demand. Okay. And I can put out 40 right now. So 27, and then that's also plus 15, so that's 37, and that's 42. So that means I'm going to need another battery. It's also going to mean that we're pretty close to our limit, so I am going to put down a couple more solar panels, although there's a little bit of a risk there. Because of course they take up metal, and metal is scarce. Okay. And in preparation, I think I'm also going to make a fungal farm. I can probably hook that into the existing system. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to see what we get set up first, before I focus on the dome. Okay. They want some more waste rock. Okay, so the water extractor will be generating some more waste rock soon. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do now. I'm gonna need to generate a lot of concrete and metal. My current maintenance needs, so half 0.3, and then let's take a look at what I'm going to need. So let's say I start by building one high-rise.
Sector scanned.
Okay, so if I build the fungal farm, we can get 6 workers. Build apartments. I'm going to need polymers for that, so that's going to be 16 polymers. 20. Some electronics. Okay. So, buy a rocket. Ooh, 3 million, that's... I don't think I can afford that. I think I might actually have to sit down and let all of this generate. Well, that's fine. Okay, so we want to get colonists on here by when? Mahler's Sol 15, so we're on Sol 4. If we are halfway. Alright, I think not only are we going to have enough time to get some colonists here. I need to be careful about that actually. I think I am going to have to buy a second rocket in order to get colonists. Okay, I'm gonna risk it, but here's what I'm gonna do. Let's start by collecting some more metal. So here's how I'm gonna make this happen. It looks like there wasn't any metal, so really what we're gonna be doing is building a colony just so we can get the rare metals. That's fine. So I think this is going to be a little bit of food and a little bit of science. When this rocket goes home, this is going to be exporting a bit of rare metals. When it comes to... Oh, I can't see what the applicants are. So if this thing generates 12 per sol, so it needs 5 days to fuel a rocket. So that's 5 days refueling. Yeah, I can't do it with just, I can't get that achievement with just one rocket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run out the clock on this one. We're going to see
Research complete.
how many exports we can send out. I would have been able to afford it if I didn't supercharge my research. Transport optimization. The RC transport harvests resources faster and its maximum storage. Its maximum storage is increased by 15. The remote location of some resource deposits calls for transport rover optimizations. So the real dilemma now is whether or not I want to get that explorer drone. You know what? That's why we build supply pods. Okay, so let's think about what I need. I'm going to build... Oh, you know what? I don't need to worry about this. I'm going to get the Crux one to load up on as much as it can. I'm going to send a supply pod to set the colony up for whatever it needs. And we should be good to go. So yeah, we'll use the large supply pod to get myself in shape. And then when the time comes, this will be on its way back to Earth, and I'm going to be able to fill it up with colonists because the large supply pod should give me what I need to get the colony up and running. The bare minimum that I would need would be the high rise. So 6 polymers in addition to the 2 more. So let's say 10, let's say 12. Yeah, I think we'll be able to make this work. It's going to be this is not going to be my best dome that I've ever made, but I think I'm going to be able to make it work. It's going to be a bit science-oriented.
Resources are low.
Okay, we might run into some power problems, but we'll see.
Sector scanned.
Okay, not a lot to commend it.
Research complete.
Okay, hydroscopic evaporators is a pretty big deal for me. Alright, so we'll cancel transport optimization, because one of the things that I want to do, if I'm going to be blessed with this much water, I am going to focus on building farms. And this will make sure that I overcome my water problems before we generate any income. So, new building farm produces food, large in-dome building, which is more work efficient and requires no power. So they say once you grow crops somewhere, you've officially colonized it. Andy Weir, the Martian. So the outsource choice might still pay off, but it really depends on how much it's going to cost me to get certain resources. So we pay pretty much nothing in maintenance except for polymers, so I can focus on polymers, machine parts, and electronics. And because we're generating rare metals, I probably am going to focus a bit on generating electronics over machine parts for now. Oops, I made a big mistake. There we go. Now the colony should have power. Actually, it's a little silly that I'm doing this, but I remember there's a way to see the power grid. Yeah, so it does go through buildings. So again, this is just going to chug along. It looks like we're three
Sector
field
scanned.
away.
Resources are low.
Okay.
Anomaly found.
Detecting anomalous readings at this location. An RC Explorer vehicle can analyze an anomaly. I wonder... I can fit an Explorer on. Okay. So we'd be shy on everything else, but it's actually really tempting. Let's think a bit about our needs. It's got room for 12 people. I'm gonna want a few botanists. I'm gonna want... What's it gonna cost me for a science building? I might build a casino just to actually.
Research complete.
Okay, we got the decommission protocol. Low-G hydrosynthesis. Polymer factory produces polymers from water and fuel. And fuel refinery produces fuel from water. So this seems like a good call. Resolving the obvious problems with water pressure in low-G environments will allow for more complex hydrosynthetic procedures to be done on-site on Mars. Okay. So once this ship's ready to launch, we will send it back to Earth. It'll come back with colonists, but before the colonists, we're going to get enough to finish building our site. So we're going to need two polymers, enough for the high rise. I think what we'll do is we'll just build a small version of everything. The real question is, what do I do about the gamers? Because I think scientists do like gaming. Okay, and that has a power requirement of 10, so
Milestone achieved.
alright, we'll let this fella head back. I am gonna wait a little bit. Normally I would want to get these, I normally want to get these supplies ready to go immediately. The reason I'm waiting is I would like to see what, actually I bet I can find this on the Stellaris wiki. Okay, apparently I can't get to the wiki, but maybe we can take a look at... Nuts. Okay, I'm just gonna tab out really quickly, and I know the music's gonna go away, so I apologize for that. But I should be able to... should be able to find this on the Paradox site, so... Okay, where are scientists? So they like social, relaxation, and gaming. Do you think the casino is the way to solve this? Because I remember I always consume too many electronics to keep things going. Oh, but consumes electronics on each visit. Or is this just as maintenance? Okay, I think I am going to make the casino complex a priority. But I don't have enough electronics, so this is a little devilish. Okay. We're gonna bring an explorer. 10, 15 polymers. 10 electronics. So we may need to bring another supply pod. This will get me started.
Dust storm approaching.
Oh, this is not going to be good. A dust storm is set to hit the colony soon. It will cause damage to pipes and cables, and it will also place serious strain on all buildings, pushing them towards needing maintenance sooner than usual. Stocking up on power, water, and oxygen in batteries and tanks is a wise precaution. Disabling any non-vital buildings that consume these resources prior and during a dust storm will help get by on available reserves. So this one's gonna be a challenge. So the moisture evaporator is not, well, you know what, everything's still gonna be operating though, so I think we're actually gonna get by now that I think about it.
Sector scanned.
So I gotta make sure the Stirling generator's okay. So we'll get some minerals out of this. And while we're at it, let's get my explorer dealing with anomalies. Okay, so that should help bump up some of my science. Okay, so we've got 3 hours to help charge up these batteries. That's probably not going to be enough.
Milestone achieved.
Hey, nice work. So now we need to get some humans on and produce some Martian-borns. So let's think about essentials. So to begin with, we need apartments, and then I do want to try and have kids, so we'll build a playground and we'll build a nursery. And we'll build an infirmary. And we'll put a small grocer in the middle. I'm just trying to really save on space if I can. So we'll put down the casino complex here, and I have a feeling we're probably going to need some more power for that. We'll start with 3. Okay, Earth-Mars initiative. So I'm going to change this up a little bit. So the Earth-Mars initiative increases research provided by sponsor by 100. 2 planets, 1 human race sharing knowledge and coexisting within the solar system. So this is going to need 15 electronics. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some more.
Funding received.
I'm actually just going to bring in more supply pods of just about everything. No room for drones, huh? Well, I think I can live with that. And then the passenger rocket. Oh, that's right. I also want to build a research lab if I can. The research lab will cost 5. Okay, so we'll put this one. It's going to be tricky. So I'll put one here. I think I'm just going to leave that be for now. So let's just take a look at my buildings. I'm going to have I want to sort of maximize. Oh, wow. Okay, we're going to have all botanists then. Let's say 6 botanists. Let's say 6 botanists, 3 normal, and 3 scientists. So okay, not quite enough. So okay, so let's find all the youth botanists I can lock in. Okay, so I do like workaholics, but alcoholics not so good. Well, still it's a net plus. I was hoping my botanist would be made of sterner stuff. Okay. Sure, let's have some alcoholics, why not? What could go wrong? Okay, so we've got 6 botanists, non-specialists. I should have prepared for a medic too. Drat. Oh, looks like I cut out the medic. Alright, well, it's not perfect, but it's what we got. Also, I wanted to get a quick look. So our demand is 49. So we're generating 20 from this.
Milestone achieved.
And 40 for these.
There's more to the barren environs of the Red Planet than meets the eye. A veritable treasure trove of undiscovered knowledge and wonder. So long as you know where to look.
Even the tiniest, simple-looking rock can contain the answers to mysteries which perplex the human mind for generations. Sometimes it just takes a simple discovery to assure us of the vastness of the universe, an encouragement to make us look beyond the boundaries of our existence and into the future. The following texts have been revealed on the research screen: autonomous sensors and water reclamation. Now, water reclamation is actually going to have a really big effect, because the combination of farms and water reclamation is going to allow me to build farming domes and make really efficient use of water. But we'll not get ahead of ourselves. We still have a bit of work ahead. Actually, let's not kid ourselves. This is a higher priority. Okay, so I'm currently demand 49. So that's going to go up to 60, so I'm going to need another battery. This is going to be a little trying, but I believe we should be able to get through it. The power consumption shouldn't be too bad. Okay, that is a problem.
There were no secrets to find near the anomaly site. Just a scene of breathtaking beauty.
Such photo ops have proven to be useful for the mission, inspiring the people of Earth to believe that humanity should create its home on the Red Planet. Oh, sorry, just 1 second, guys. I just had a quick message from somebody who visited the chat. That's always nice to have.
Sector scan.
Wasn't feeling very good about the Daggerfall episode, so it's nice to see some people visiting it anyway. Okay, so, oh no, I need to close up this Stirling generator right away. That takes polymers, so... Okay, no metal to pick up off the ground. Oh, no, we got some. Okay, so let's get our transport doing something helpful. Apparently it's okay to drop care packages in the middle of a dust storm. It's just not colonists we can bring in. Now normally I'd love to do some wind turbines, but we're going to need to get a few more machine parts. Okay, so we'll just fast forward through the dust storm and hopefully everything will get solved. Probably going to be a little shy on some necessities, but we should be able to get through them.
Resources are low. Breakthrough discovered.
Okay, lake vaporators. Lake pumps are self-sufficient and no longer need to be supplied with water. Water is a very good servant, but it is a cruel master. C.G.D. Roberts. Now it looks like my explorer is out of things to do right now. That's fine, we'll just send them back home. And then let's find some more things. We're probably going to be expanding to this area, so let's see what awaits us. So I'm taking a bit of a risk by bringing the colonists in so early, but I think they're gonna have what they need for the next little bit. Alright, when you are ready to invite the first colonists to Mars, launch a passenger rocket from Earth and land it near one of your domes. The rocket will carry some food supplies, but you will have to secure power, oxygen, water, and living space in advance. So these folks are here a bit early, unfortunately. So I have 119 hours before they run out of time. The one bit of good news is we're getting an idea of what the power demand is. 66, so we're going to need 70. We can produce 80 right now. So I hope we have enough solar panels, but as long as we do, we should be okay. Yeah, we should have enough time for the Crux one to be able to land safely. I think what I might do is I might give my colony a little bit of time to build the solar panels and just get a bit of a charge in the batteries before we drop the colonists down.
Sector scanned.
One of the things I'm really looking forward to in this game is it's going to be a challenge getting the colony set up, but I'm really interested to see what happens once I sort of hit that point where I'm a bit self-sufficient, because we do actually have quite a bit of money left over still. We'll be able to bring some rockets or some large rockets in if I need the resources. Got one more day on the dust storm, so it's going to be a little tight, but I think we should be able to manage. And it looks like we're out of concrete, so I think I want to prioritize this guy. Oh, looks like I can't. Okay, well, that's going to be a pain, actually. I think we can get through it. The leaks really are devilish. Looks like there's some more metal which we didn't pick up. That's a pity. We'll take that right now. And in 12 hours we'll be able to land the Crux one. Well, 12 hours will probably give it again. It'd be nice to see if I have enough energy to be able to... New special project of launching a SETI satellite. Grants funding. Multiple uses of this project will yield diminishing returns. Oh, so I can get 2 billion if I have 50 fuel, 30 electronics, and 50 metal. Okay, looks like we got some concrete being made, so that'll help us build up our infrastructure. I'm a little worried about the concrete, to be honest. hours until the dust storm settles. And we had enough concrete to be able to fix the... Okay, so I still have plenty of time for the colonists. Right now we have a surplus of 27, and we're going to try and fill that. Yeah, I think we need another bank of solar panels. I'm not quite convinced that we're going to build enough.
Sector scanned.
So we should still have enough metal. Okay. A new email pops up on your screen holding the final 3 applications from the training program. It looks like everybody was has been keeping the best for last. The final 3 applications are very impressive. Too bad you will have to narrow the list down to 1. So, genius, saint, or celebrity. I think the best and the brightest is exactly what we're looking for. Okay, so we'll run this by... I think we'll just run this a little longer. Part of this is to get the charge up. Oh, there's one thing I can do to help us out. And that's open up the Stirling generator. We'll be able to get the power accumulator up. We'll also be able to get a more realistic idea of what our electricity demands are. So we'll have 20, 30, 20, 40, 60, 80. And our current demand is 63. Yes, with another, with a research lab coming online. So we should be able to sustain the colony. And then I might need to build a couple of other amenities, but we'll see how that turns out. Do I want to play chicken with the crux one? We'll give it another day. Especially because we've got another battery coming online. If we don't run out of power overnight, I'm gonna bring the ship down. But I'm a little spooked that we might be just shy of enough power. I think we'll be able to make it, so time to put the humans in the colony. Now, we will have achieved the land a colonist on Mars by Sol 15, so this gives us a bunch of research. Next, we want to export 60 rare metals by the end of Sol 30. So one of the things that I want to try and prioritize is the construction of a Site B. That is going to be focused on resource extraction. So let's just get a quick idea of passages. Okay, so if I put my screen right over to the edge. I don't know if we're going to be able to make this in 2 domes. So let's pretend for a moment. Okay, so that's not far enough. Okay, that may not work out, but let's pretend that we can get a dome in there. Yeah. So I'm gonna need 2 domes, but we'll be able to make that work.
Full of hope and determination, the first founders have set foot on the Red Planet.
The next 10 sols will be full of difficulties and dangers, but also with great promises and opportunities. It is now to us to prove that Mars can be a doorway to greater riches and the future of human civilization. Even the most epic adventures begin with a single step. Arrival of additional colonists is temporarily suspended until the colony proves able to sustain human life. Your founder colonists must survive for 10 sols before additional people can arrive. Hint, the colony will be evaluated positively before the period ends in the event of the first human is born on Mars. If you feel you are up to the challenge, try constructing a medical building and raising the comfort of the founders as much as possible with service buildings.
Milestone achieved.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is get a quick look at my colonists. Let's actually watch them come in here. I've been zooming around a little too much, and I've not been stopping to smell the roses. So let's watch them arrive.
New colonists have arrived. Research complete.
So milestone achieved. New colonists here. We've got soil adaptation. We're already on our way to a farm. Alright, so we'll say polymer factory is a priority. We'll say RC transport. And so it's a 1500, so I can do cheaper probes or better engineers and geologists. I think I'm going to go for the geologists, so geologists have a saying, rocks remember. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry about that. I've just got some people watching Daggerfall. I want to take a minute to thank them for watching, even though there are the audio problems. Okay, so sorry about that interruption. We'll see if we can make him a little less optimistic about the rare metals, but we'll do our best. 10 free supply pods is not something to be too upset by if it doesn't turn out. But let's watch the new colonists come in, and then we can take a quick look to see. So Adriano Oliveira, Guillem Cavalcante, Cao Almeida, Ramon Rocha, Paulo Lima, Leticia Fernandez, Diego Schmidt. Okay, apparently they're all just turning right around. I'm going right back on this plane. Leticia Rodriguez, Fernando Rodriguez, Diego Santos, Caroline Fernandez, and Yao Pedro Lima. All right. Not enough power. Well, bad luck for me, I suppose. I think I can live with the nursery not getting enough power for now.
Research complete. Milestone achieved.
Oh, that was easy. Water reclamation is done, so that's given us a nice little advance. I do want to get utility crops, but we should probably get the cheaper research done first. And I know I've been rushing things, so let's enjoy the fireworks. Huh? Okay, so let's think a little bit about what our next moves are going to be. First thing I want to do is take a look at my colonists. So what are their interests? Relaxation, shopping, luxury, gambling. I believe we have all of those needs taken care of. So let me just double check. Actually, you know what? I don't have any places for relaxation yet. So that's an oversight on my part. Fortunately, relaxation is free. Let's put a nice garden. It's a tough call where I want to put it. This will still leave me enough space if I want to, this will still leave me enough space if I want to build an extension out here. It would not be the worst thing if I built another dome in this area.
Sector scan.
Maybe a farming
Anomaly
dome.
found.
Okay, new anomaly, always good news. Let's get that explorer working on it. Looks like there's some sneaky polymers that just landed out of reach. So I'm gonna get the transport to take that first. I would really like to get some of these rare metals, so I'm gonna see what I can do about building enough. The big thing I need to remember is each of these domes has to have a purpose. So maybe what I might wind up doing is I might sort of undo, well no, actually I'm not too unhappy with these services. So maybe I do make my garden dome here. How are we on the farms? So we've got a farm, and we have a water reclamation system. Wow, we can actually build our farming dome right away. That sounds tasty. Now it's going to be a little bit of a bummer in that I'm going to have 2 passages coming out of it. But I think we'll be able to make it all work. So Okay, so I don't have any more metal available to me. Let's unload the polymers. And let's think a little bit about how I'm going to bring... So I'm going to need a drone hub first of all. Now those are relatively inexpensive. So just for the... We'll just rough out some of the examples here. So we'll say we've got a water extractor, far away as I can manage from the dome. So we'll put a dome down, let's say, somewhere over here. And we do a passage. Okay, so we can definitely do a passage like that. And that's really the end of it. We'd make a second dome to reach there. So now the question is, what do I need for resources? I would need 20 polymers, a ton of concrete, and a lot of metal. That's gonna be the thing that makes this fall apart. I need to find metal. Let's start taking a look a little further down here. In fact, let's just change our priorities altogether because I know we're going to be investigating these areas. So I've already got some progress there, so we'll... So I think the drone hub would be able to get enough coverage between these two areas. That wouldn't be a problem. So while we're at it, got a drone hub. Did I bring too many botanists? I did. Shame on me. So, they're founder and vegan, so I was a little worried they might be sexy, and in that case we have a bit of a problem. But let's take a minute. I don't know how much time we have left, but let's just take a look at what's happening in the colony. It's a little sparse compared to how I normally build them, but I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants on this one to see if I can get some delicious rare metals. I am very pleased to see that my scientists are working. This will help me out with my research. Actually, this is the most important thing. How am I comparing to my neighbors? Okay, 5 scientists don't have those. 3 botanists, we can definitely get that. Alright, so I would normally like to use... Seems like a good opportunity, so I'm gonna take it. Normally would like to send that back to Earth because obviously we're gonna need people for the second and third domes. Although I suppose I can just have a big old empty dome that people walk through.
Breakthrough discovered.
Zero space computing. Research lab and a Hawking Institute upgrade. Research points production increased. Thinking outside the box. Martian mathematicians have begun developing new mathematical apparatus, which will open the doors to new scientific models and theories. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to let this rocket refuel and go on the mission. It's going to mean that we're going to lose some botanists, but obviously research progress is a nice little payoff. We're going to do everything we can to keep our founders comfortable. Let's take a quick look. I guess that's morale. I can never remember what these mean. Health, sanity, comfort. Okay, comfort could use some. Alright. Let's shift this a little bit. So what we've done is we've got morning shifts for all of the productive work. It's a tough call. I don't know if I want to try keeping this stuff open. Well, let's try it. So the thing is, most people are going to be visiting these service buildings during the afternoon. This guy's not a gamer, is he? So this will probably help me out a little bit with my comfort. It's not looking great, but we do have a boy and a girl who are reasonably comfortable. Fernando. Okay, Fernando's the one who I really want to have comfortable. Because Fernando is sexy. And let's take a look where his comfort's at. Alright, so that's just their base comfort. Alright, well, we can work with that. I wonder if we have any dogs yet. Definitely see some people relaxing, which is good. Small grocer probably won't support too much, although we do have a lot of space available, and I don't have any penalties for traveling through tunnels. It is debatable as to whether or not the science was the right thing to go for at the beginning, but it might pay off if it gives me a sufficient technological edge. Now, I was going to compare myself to my neighbors, so the Americans are generating 300. I think that's because of their default amount. So we're generating as many as China. Okay, none of these guys have colonists yet, though. So we're actually doing all right. I mean, it may turn out that I'm completely premature and that I've just doomed everyone, but what's our consumption? I don't believe that it's 0. Anyways, let's watch some more of the colonist life. Lots of green, very patriotic as well as appropriate to the job. I would like to build a school, but I want to keep my electronics consumption a bit low. I wonder how far I can follow these guys. Okay, can't see them in their rooms, but maybe we'll see them relaxing in the... Oh, we've got a delivery. So let's drop that. I don't think there's any penalty for putting it near the... Oh. Yeah, something like that will do. So the funny thing is, now that I know that, so obviously we've got this rare metals refinery producing, looks like 3 per sol. Actually, that's an interesting number. So let's just think about that for a moment. So we've got 7 stored right now. We've got 2 that we've sent out. We've got... Okay, let me just... It's all 30, so we've got 18. So we're definitely not going... I mean, especially at this rate, you know, the production's clearly not fast enough with the waste rock that I'm generating. But I think if we can just get this... you know what? I don't think we're really going to get this online in time to... after the founder stage. Really depends whether or not we get the baby built. Baby built, oh my goodness. That's not what I meant to say. If the first Martian born is... if my colonists make a baby, not build a baby, you make babies. I don't know how you make babies. If any of you know, please leave a comment. I should wait for the evening and see if I can see any of these guys relaxing in the apartments. Let's follow. So Ramon is currently idle. Yeah, we'll follow. Let's see what Ramon does during the day. Good to see the scientists working. Admiring the green and red lights. Would you guys just play the game? I hear that a lot in my chat. This may not have been the most exciting colonist for me to follow, but he looks very strong. Whenever I see him looking at the consoles, I always think he's trying to come up with something mischievous to do. Alright, looks like he's just on a patrol route, so let's see if there's something more exciting we can watch. Letitia, what are you doing? You are following Ramon's path. I have people watching. Could you please do something interesting? You know, I hear babies, but we don't have a baby yet. Do they tune in baby noises? Just in case? You're contemplating the nursery. There is a sexy man whose comfort is going up. There's not much else to do, as is clearly evidenced by your idle animation. What do you say? Take one for the team? No? Okay. I actually didn't really pay attention to the gender balance in the colony, so that might be something playing against me. Ooh, okay, Diego's unhappy. Okay, so we got a few people. Oh, it's because we got some drinkers who can't drink. Paying for not making my buildings big enough. Hopefully this resolves itself over time. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try speeding things up a little bit. I'll try and keep an eye on the colony, just because there isn't much else going on. It's going to be a little hard, because I don't know whether or not we have enough amenities to keep people happy. You know, we haven't had anybody visit the infirmary. Maybe we'll just turn it off. Uh-oh. Okay, now I'm a little worried why. Why do I now only have 9 colonists? I don't understand. Surely there's a log of some kind of events. I don't know if we're making it past the founder stage. Thought there might be like a log of events somewhere.
Research complete. Anomaly analyzed. Sector scanned. Anomaly found.
Okay, so let's carry on with what we've got. I don't think there's any metal there. Alright. I'm genuine. I'll watch the video again and see if I can find out what happened to my colonists. so we're now okay, so you do have two 1500, so rocket cargo space increased by 10,000 kilograms. That's not bad. Extractor upgrade, amplify, increases production by 25%, but also increases power consumption by 10. That would be very good if I had, that'd be very good if I had if I had a rare metal miner right now, but I don't, so zero space computing is definitely a tempting one, but I think we'll do fuel compression and extractor amplification. It's also very tempting to go for utility crops, but I think I'll try and be patient. Normally the game tells you if colonists have died, so I think I'm going to watch the video again and see if I can find out what happened to them. Oh, I know what happened. I sent them on a mission. That's why they disappeared. I think I might have put this the wrong way.
Research complete.
Right. Transport optimization is done, so Explorer AI generate 100 per sol per each RC Explorer vehicle. Okay, so we're gonna cancel those, we're gonna do utility crops, and then we'll add cargo space. In fact, we're also gonna get rid of the probes. And the productivity chaining. Actually mildly tempted to pay for the extra research, but I'm not going to get ahead of myself just because we're doing better for comfort. We've got 3 women, one of which is very uncomfortable. What can I do to make her comfortable? Alright, so she wants to drink. That's not so good. I should have known that, bringing an alcoholic on. Alright. So I don't think they're gonna be happy here, but I think they'll manage. Let's find some other things for this rocket to do. So I don't like losing so many drones, but resources are helpful. Okay, so I can't give up the scientists, I don't have enough. So we'll start with the unknown. Multiple strange signals detected over time can all be traced to this area. It is now nicknamed the Zone. So this is not the best use of my resources, obviously. I am going to need this ship back to bring more colonists on, but I figure it's probably better to get all the use out of the ship right now, at a time when I don't need it for other things. And if I'm a little late bringing colonists in, I can either buy a new ship, or I just sort of live with the consequences. I've not completely given up on mining the underground rare metals, but we're almost halfway there, and realistically, what am I looking at? Base production 7, I'm assuming that's with 4 working per shift, so See if the encyclopedia says anything about that. I suppose what I could say, so base production for a concrete extractor is 20, producing 28 per sol though, so why is that different? How about a research lab? The research lab is... I guess I can turn the infirmary back on. Doesn't mean anybody will visit it, but I can turn it back on. Okay. So it's... And of course it doesn't say base production. Why would it? Oh, fungal farm though. Okay, fungal farm. Base production 6. It's producing 8 per sol, but I'm assuming that's because I've got rock stars working in it. So,
Breakthrough discovered.
Cloning. New spire building cloning vats. Clones can think creatively. You will find that they are immensely superior to drones. Unnamed Martian scientist. Yeah, so I'm gonna avoid spending a lot of money right now. We've got a fairly good thing going here in that we're generating more food than we're consuming. This will probably be changing relatively soon, but I'm also going to be able to build a farming dome. So, and what that might allow me to do is sort of trade with my neighbors. I guess I promised I would be looking at the colony again, so let's look at the busy spots. Anything I can do to stop the baby sounds? The sweet piece.
Sector scanned. Anomaly found.
We've got some anomalies to check out, so we'll do that with our friendly little rover. Also, we've got some metals that we can pick up, so let's get that done right now. We do need metals to maintain our solar panels, and we have quite a few of them, so it's important to make sure that I'm on top of that. Right now we just get to wait for a birthday. I don't think there's any point in trying to build the new dome until we know the nature of the beast. Let's watch Letitia. See what happens after resting. They work as a grocer. Stare over at her at the carrots.
Anomaly analyzed.
Okay, time to stop being silly.
There's more to the barren environs of the red planet than meets the eye. A veritable treasure trove of undiscovered knowledge and wonder. So long as you know where to look.
Even the tiniest simple-looking rock can contain the answers to mysteries which perplex the human mind for generations. Sometimes it takes just a simple discovery to assure us of the vastness of the universe and encouragement to make us look beyond the boundaries of our existence and into the future. The following texts have been revealed on the research screen: Logi turbines and topology AI. So, what will that get me? Okay, so Logi turbines will give me upgraded wind turbines, so when we get polymer production down, that'll be very helpful. And topology AI, drones work faster on landscaping projects, so we don't have too much use for that yet. I think we've got some other things we want to focus on before terraforming. But good to know. Alright, let's see what else is going on. So we've now produced 10 rare metals. If nothing else, it'll be a little bit ahead of the game. We'll be a little ahead of the game as far as earnings are concerned. Still plenty to take from. I mean, we have taken out 400, but I think we're doing all right for water. I'm also a little curious if I can, with the hydroscopic coating, if we can reduce the demand a little bit. Right now we're a little bit lucky because we've got this this water resource. We've got another one here, but it's 7,000. Of course, once we run out of that, we're going to have to find even more. So either I'm going to need to get sort of a series of evaporators set up, or I'm going to need to work on my terraforming, or we'll find something else. Actually, while we're at it. So toxic rains start at 25 atmosphere, 25 temperature. Toxic rains end at 55 atmosphere, 55 temperature, and 5 water. Water, well, that comes from lakes. I suppose that makes sense. So I think we do heat. Maybe we make an effort to try and get some water. Yeah, once I think we'll do heat to 25, then we try to get some water, and then we can do some atmosphere. And I think that will allow us to do a little bit of work on solar, or not solar, wind power. Let's watch my little Martian ant farm. I'm really happy to see that the food is being produced efficiently. I probably could have stood to build a better district for amenities, but other than that, we're not doing too bad, all things considered.
Sector scan.
Okay, so I've got some metal. That gives me something to work on with my transport. And my explorer can head back home just in case something nasty happens. I think it's going to be a little difficult to extract metal though. I think seeing as I'm already at it, a farming dome is probably not the worst thing that I could build. And I suppose at some point I will build the extractor. But what I might do is just fill out the amenities here, build a couple of water reclamation units, and I maybe just focus on Dome A, farming dome, and we try and find some other things for my people to do that aren't, well, no, this is the natural extension. Back to watching the ant farm. Oh, I see a colonist. Who is that? That is Ramon. Ramon's a gamer. Ramon is playing the game called I Am So Hungry, I'm Eating an Invisible Breakfast. Oh, did Ramon want to go to the store and he wasn't able to? Yeah, that's a bummer. Okay, I think we need to open this up all hours. Even if it means the infirmary isn't available. How is the comfort level? Well, people's comfort is going up. I don't know what the threshold is for babies, though. Nothing on comfort? Okay. Alright, well, it'll be a big mystery. We'll figure out whether or not we can get a baby by the end of the stream. Let's go full speed ahead until something else happens. We put the playground in front of the common area so that everybody could understand what their job was. The funny thing is, I think I have enough resources to be able to build that second dome if I wanted. The real question is if it's a good idea. You know what? I'm gonna make an effort. Oh, but I don't have a drone commander. That's the trick. Okay. Well, I'll think about buying one of those. But for now, there's no point in building a second dome until we can get colonists in. So, we'll just be patient. And we'll watch the farm. You know, maybe it's more interesting to watch the overall colony. When we're in sort of lulls like this, if you like watching these things, rather than just listen to them, you can let me know if you prefer seeing the activity inside the colony, or if you prefer, the dome, or if you'd like to see the colony in general so that we can watch all the drones do their work. Drones are certainly quite busy, so... Looks like the drones are also getting ready to pack up, so we've got 8 fuel. I think if the baby doesn't get born, this will be my first colony that exits the founder stage in the traditional way, rather than by having a
Sector
kid.
scanned. Anomaly found.
There's some more work for me to do. So another anomaly. That's always good news. And is there any metal? There is metal too. So let's scoop that up until we can find a place to mine it. And then we can go back and admire. Let's get a new angle. Something like this doesn't look quite as right. I think the lines look all different and the back of the ship is facing us, but we'll see if that gives us a better view of what's going on in the colony. So I'll count 3. Oh.
A colonist just snapped.
Caio Almeida, as every other colonist, went through psychological conditioning before arriving on Mars to guarantee their most basic ability to cope with the adverse environment. Indeed, people live on a barren, dead cold world with a toxic, almost non-existent atmosphere, protected only by a fragile-looking dome and relying on machines to keep them alive. The unparalleled everyday stress levels slowly drain the people of their resolve, and thus even the slightest shock or frustration can send someone over the edge. On Earth, entertainment and recreation are just for fun, but here they are a basic tool for survival. The colonist Caio Almeida has reached critically low sanity, provide operational health care buildings in the domes, and avoid heavy workload or nighttime work to prevent the situation. So let's see why they are unhappy. This is bad gambling. Yep. I should have been much more careful in terms of who I brought on this mission, because this could possibly sink me. I was a scientist too. I could have kicked him out and gotten a different one. So one more fuel. Alright. So let's watch what an expedition looks like if you live in the apartment building. Let's make it the colony in general. No, the apartment building.
Building a new home on an alien world, that takes guts, to say the least.
After all, purpose is the strongest long-term driver. Since arriving on Mars, Paulo Lima's enthusiasm has proven to be above average, even by founder norms, and the prodigious productivity displayed can be boiled down to one simple explanation. Paulo Lima really loves doing what Paulo Lima's doing. The founder, Paulo Lima, has the enthusiast trait. That's the spirit. Not like that gambler guy. Oh, it's so neat looking at that, just going over the ridge of the crater. I always keep forgetting to see these little moments. I think this is the thing that attracts me the most to surviving Mars, is just you don't need to look very far
Anomaly analyzed.
to see interesting things happening.
There's more to the barren environs of the red planet than meets the eye. A veritable treasure trove of undiscovered knowledge and wonder. So long as you know where to look.
Even the tiniest, simple-looking rock can contain the answers to mysteries which perplex the human mind for generations. Sometimes it takes just a simple discovery to assure us of the vastness of the universe, an encouragement to make us look beyond the boundaries of our existence and into the future. The following texts have been revealed on the research screen: Advanced Martian Engines, Drone Hub, Mars Crowdfunding, Martian-Born Adaptability, Planetary Survey, and Stirling Generator. So lots of options. Will not really take advantage of any of them. It would definitely be nice to be able to build a Stirling generator, but I'm not generating polymers and electronics yet. Drone Hub is definitely a high priority because that'll allow me to sort of get more infrastructure on the Martian surface. And then Advanced Martian Engines is also a pretty high priority. But we're going to work with what we've got right now. Explorer AI will give me more research. Utility crops will help me with my farming complex, and then we'll hopefully be able to bring more people in to help us with some of our other goals. Alright, so let's try to get a closer view of what's going on in the colony, with an eye to the dome, but also being able to see the activity. Alright, so I think this gentleman is unhappy, yeah. So I'm going to keep an eye on him. Hot potato. The expedition encountered personnel from a rival colony. The rivals are hostile and uncooperative, claiming that they have exclusive rights to exploiting the anomaly site. We were here first. They threatened to sabotage and destroy the useful resources on the site rather than allow us to claim even a tiny portion of them. Interesting. Teach them a lesson, but be careful. After your decisive actions, the rival expedition quickly packs up and goes. Advancing in a line towards the rivals with tools risen up menacingly was enough for them to lose courage and beat it. Finally, you can explore the riches of Mars. So that did pay off 40 minerals and 20 polymers, because those are two resources that I don't have easy access to. I wonder if that broke any friendships. So good with USA, neutral with China. And I have a feeling that the Church of the New Ark has never really liked us. So, we'll see how it goes. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how it's gonna go, to be honest. So gambler, 50% chance to lose 20 sanity when visiting a casino could be caused by sanity breakdown. So I should return with my goodies. Well, we get a chance to watch something exciting. So hopefully he gets, he got himself some, well, he got a rest. Oh, he's gone to the casino complex. Can we just, let him win? I want to watch him come out.
Sector scanned. Anomaly found.
I don't want to watch watch him enough to ignore an anomaly, though. So we'll scan that, and I think that's some metal. Yep, there's actually quite a bit of metal there, so good news for us. Let's take some resources. The reason I'm not doing very much right now is that I'm really just waiting for the founder stage to finish. And while I could be building some more resources, right now I just kind of want to see what I'm up against. Once I'm able to bring some more people onto the planet, I'll feel a bit better. But for now, it's better for me to collect as many resources as I can and have some options when the time comes. Oh, let's see. I don't think there's any other anomalies for me to investigate. It looks like I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't have 5 scientists, so we'll leave that, but the others we should be good. We'll see if I don't see any change to sanity one way or the other. He should get a positive if it goes well. And morning's coming, so we should find out. Okay, so he visited the he visited the casino but didn't get anything.
The on-site data validates our predictive models of the electrically charged dust devils.
Science is well aware of the causes of the massive earth storms, monsoons, tornadoes, and yet we have ceased to admire the primeval forces unleashed before our eyes. The same goes for Martian electrostatic dust storms. Our scientists already had a good working model on the behavior of these peculiar weather anomalies on the Red Planet. Now we can refine this model even further. With the current expedition complete, we can confirm their theory, yet I doubt anyone would ever cease to revere massive dust storms.
Research complete.
Okay, so Explorer AI is done. This is going to give us a boost to technology, which is always good, especially because we're replacing a scientist. And now I need to decide what I want to do with 1,500. Another billion in funding is certainly not bad. Let's see if we can get something better. So we have 2 more 1,500 research remaining. It is a little tempting to go for the drone hub. It's even more tempting to go for the reduced fuel. But I will get that 1,500 one done fairly shortly. Okay, so we'll speed things up again. We've got 2 days left in the founder stage, so if we don't have a baby, that's, unfortunate, but manageable. I'll try opening the nursery again. The only reason I did that, the only reason I closed it was to get rid of the noise. I don't know if having one working actually helps with the baby making, but we'll just enjoy the
Research complete.
utility crops. This is a really good one for me. What it will do is, when I start building farms, I'm going to be able to do cover crops. It's going to let me get the soil quality up really quickly, and then I'm going to be able to build my what am I trying to say? I'll be able to sort of get my farms up to top production right away. So I want to keep an eye on my machine parts and my electronics, especially depending on what buildings I want to build. But we're doing very well for food, and if we get in trouble, we'll probably be able to trade for certain goods. It looks like we've got a surplus of concrete that I'm going to need to deal with. So I've got a lot of reasonably happy colonists, but I don't know. It might be that they need to be above 60 to have a baby. I'm a little surprised I didn't enable the Steam overlay for this. I'm going to just tab out really quick and see if I can find. We'll go to a normal speed. I'm going to tab out really quick and see if I can find out. I may not have. Every fertile couple effectively has a comfort minus 30 divided by 10% chance per sol to have a baby. More technically, all fertile couples comfort minus 30 points daily to the shared pool of birth progress points in the dome. When that number reaches 1,000, a baby is born. Without accounting for technologies, considering a 55 fertile life and ideal men-women ratio, you can expect these population trends based on comfort. Yeah, so I'm not going to get a baby because I didn't manage my my ratios properly. Oh well. That's a lesson for next time. So yeah, this is funny. It seems like I made a couple of very basic mistakes at the start of this one. And yet there were a couple where I did better than expected. For instance, I'm not running into the food problems I had. We've still got 3.8 billion in the bank, and we are not running into any major resource shortages, except of course for the electronics. Again, it's a little bit of a shame that we won't be ending the founding stage with a Martian born, but I think I can live with that. Looks like my little drones are okay, here's what I'm going to do, because I do want to maximize my... Let's build another concrete depot. We're going to build it just off to the side here. That'll let my guys do some more. I probably should have done that a lot earlier. And it looks like there's some leftover metal.
Sector scanned. Anomaly found.
Okay, I'm always happy to get anomalies. It looks like there's a lot more metal, so I'll keep an eye on that. I know this one's probably a little more idle than people are used to. I know it's always, a lot of this is really more about just being able to talk about anything and have nice relaxing music on in the background. I think I make a little bit more progress just because I have the founding stage done a little bit earlier, but it'll be interesting to see how this colony develops. Unemployed. Well, I bet you can go work in the research lab. So, he does gain composure after a sanity breakdown. That's good. Obviously, that's a risk we're going to have to deal with in the future, but we can't exactly kick him off now, can we? I'm going to wait until the founder stage is done, and then we'll call it a night, because I think I'm at the point where I wanted to start wrapping up and going to bed. Oh.
It's not every day that we have the luxury to choose from what Mars has to offer.
Okay, so the planet constantly reminds us of its old habit to give with one hand and take with the other. The rover came across coffinite rocks rich in uranium clustered on top of a rich hematite deposit. The mineral veins were positioned in such a manner inside the rock that we couldn't blast through without compromising some of them. We faced a difficult decision, but in the end it was a matter of simple pragmatics. So I would normally be very happy to get the rare metals, but in this case I would like to get the rich metals deposit because I currently don't have a source for that. Now it's going to take me quite some time to get there, but it gives me an option now. This fellow's unfortunately not getting enough waste rock. About the only time that I've felt like I need to generate more. Alright, 18 hours for the founder stage. I will also just say, I'm trying to resurrect this little series. Might have gone better. I'm just being a little too harsh on myself, but if there is something that you'd like to see, if there's something that I can do differently, or if there's something that is maybe a little bit more consistent with how I used to do it, if I'm doing something differently, I would be very happy to hear any comments. This is definitely one which I do largely for a VOD audience, although I try to put them on Twitch when I can. And yeah, it's for you. I'm trying something new, and it sometimes works. There's definitely a small number of people who really like these kinds of videos, and I feel like there's more that I can do to make this more generally appealing to people. So if you think there's something that you'd like to see, or if you'd like me to do something differently, maybe a little bit less sort of watching things go by like this, and maybe a little bit more active gameplay, I'm definitely happy to consider some of these. Or if you'd like to see a different game, because this is not the only game that works well for relaxation. I certainly enjoy Surviving Mars very much, and so I'm happy to play it and I'm happy to play it on my own time. I'm happy to play it on a live stream. And if there are other games that have a very similar relaxing feeling, especially if they have music as sublime as this, I'm very happy to try out some new things, and hopefully, like my experience was, if I can brighten someone's day, that would be the best. If I can give you a little distraction from, something you're working on, or maybe not distraction, but maybe a nice little compliment, something to keep on in the background without interrupting too much in terms of what's going on. Lots of different reasons to do these streams, lots of different reasons to watch them, and I'd be very happy to hear some things that would make this even better for you. Alright, 10 hours left in the Founder stage. Let's follow my little friend, the transport, see what he's up to. Okay, still loading up on metal. I think I could probably take the Explorer, bring it up there. Let's figure out some other things.
Resources are low.
Alright, what's going on here? So China's nearly completed a milestone. First Martian born. Well, that's unlucky. I can send them concrete in exchange for food. Well, I don't think that will do. This is so interesting. So in my pursuit of food, I seem to have... It's so funny that I normally miss out on one of the milestones, and it's normally the food one. And the funny thing is, I genuinely believe that if I had I'm really curious what's going on with that. Oh, it's because of the gambler. I think if I'd had a better man-to-woman ratio, I think I had enough comfort, and I really just brought too many dudes. And that is why we didn't have a kid. But at the end of, let me just double check that. Oh yes, well, these drones will switch over. But at the end of the founder stage, we are 3 fuel away, which we actually already have, and so we'll be able to send this rocket back.
It's a rough life here on Mars. You can't prepare for addiction.
Despite the great lengths we go through to make it seem safe and as close as possible to home, one's mind is never too far from the dangers that the privilege of being an interplanetary pioneer carries. We all find our own ways to cope with this pressure. Caroline Fernandez finds it in the bottle. Alcohol is not the answer. Alright, a little bit of a sad note to end on, but we have passed the founder stage. We're in position for our next stage for our colony. We're going to try things a little bit differently this time, as you've no doubt been able to notice. So we've put some early efforts into research. We're at least now sort of on par with the United States, for better or worse. We're outdoing China. We're outdoing the Church of the New Ark. Church of the New Ark's finally got their colonists, so good news for them, I suppose. We're doing not too bad for resource production. We're definitely going to be at a point where I need to start importing some electronics and machine parts, but it's nothing that we wouldn't be able to deal with on our own. The maintenance rate for these, we're taking half a day, and we're taking a third electronics a day, so machine parts are definitely a high priority. I think the next step for our colony is going to be this. I want to try and set up a farming dome. I think I'm still going to try and pursue the rare minerals. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring an RC commander in, and I'm going to bring 15 machine parts, 10 electronics, and we'll put that straight on the Martian surface. So I think the first priority is going to be I'm going to build a connection to the basic dome. This is going to be my farming dome, and I'll probably build some extra amenities, but I'm not quite sure how else I'll handle it. What will ultimately happen is in this farming dome we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 4 farms. And we're going to have a water reclamation plant so that the farming, the impact of the farming is going to be lower. And then we're going to use that to move into our mining area. And what we'll probably do is we'll probably set up so that we have the capacity for rare metals mining, but also so that we have the capacity for electronics production, because it's a tough call now as to whether or not I want to export rare metals or whether I want to use them in the production of electronics. A little bit further down the road we'll probably try and set up a base in order to be able to collect these metals. That'll give me something of a production line in order to be able to build a machine parts factory. And then from there, we'll see what else Mars has to offer. It's a bit of a mixed start here. Lots of water and concrete, which is great. A little too far away from rare metals to be helpful. Obviously, it would have been better if we started somewhere around here. And yeah, we're going to just try and sprout up a few colonies and do the best with what we've got. So before I go any further, let's save the game. I'd like to take a minute and wish you a very good evening or very good afternoon, wherever it is where you are. We'll be doing more Surviving Mars Green Planet. If I can, I'll get it done next week, but I still need to try and get my own day in order. I know I didn't talk a lot about things going on, but whether things are going well for you or whether you need a quick pick-me-up, I hope things either get better or continue to be well for you. and I'm very much looking forward to sharing this game with you again and seeing if we can make a little more progress than I did last time. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.